All right, hockey fans, let's dive deep into the Winnipeg Jets this season.
Sounds good.
They're off to an incredible start.
Yeah, undefeated.
And there's a lot of talk about the team's new dynamics.
And some interesting line combinations.
So we're going to look at game summaries, quotes from the coach and players, and even some line projections.
Interesting.
The big question is, can the Jets keep this up?
Turn this hot streak into something special.
Exactly. So let's get started.
Well, right off the bat, what's really striking here is the way the Jets are winning.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen them play like this in years.
I know.
That 5-0 record, it's not just luck.
For sure.
Statistically speaking, less than 10% of NHL teams start a season like that.
Wow. That is impressive.
It is.
But you know me, I like to look beyond the surface
Sure.
and dig into the details.
Makes sense.
One thing that really stood out to me was goalie Eric Comrie's comment about the team's buy-in. He said he hasn't seen this level of buy-in anywhere else. So let's talk about that. What does buy-in actually mean in the context of this Jets team?
Well, it's really about the players' actions speaking louder than words.
Okay.
You could just tell that this team truly believes in their coach's system.
Right.
And they believe in each other.
They have each other's backs.
Exactly.
Right.
And you see it on the ice.
Yeah.
For example, think back to Game 3, when Schiffel had that clear shot.
I remember that.
But instead of taking it, he passed the puck to Lowry for the tap-in goal.
Yeah.
That's buy-in right there.
He could have gone for the glory himself.
Absolutely. But he trusted his teammate to finish the play.
And that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
It's about the team.
Putting the team first.
And Comrie also talked about how all four lines are contributing.
Yeah, which is a big change from past seasons.
Where it felt like only one or two lines are carrying the team.
Exactly. And that balanced attack is what makes this Jets team so difficult to play against.
Because you never know where the next goal is coming from.
Exactly.
Even a team with a rock-solid defense like the Blues is going to struggle against that.
I can imagine.
They're constantly having to adjust to a new scoring threat.
Every time a different Jets line hits the ice,
It's like playing whack-a-mole.
shut down one threat and another one pops up.
That's a great analogy.
So everything's clicking at home.
Right.
But now comes the true test.
Yeah.
A 3-game road trip against some seriously tough opponents.
Let's hear it.
The Blues, the Kraken, and then the undefeated Calgary Flames.
Yikes.
That's going to be a whole other level of pressure.
Absolutely. Road games are just different in the NHL.
Totally agree.
You've got travel fatigue.
Hostile crowds.
Yeah. And that home ice advantage can really throw a team off its game.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And historically, the Jets haven't been the best road team.
that's true.
So this trip is going to be a huge test of their resilience.
For sure.
And of course, their buy-in.
We'll have to see how they handle it.
And speaking of resilience, defenseman Colin Miller had an interesting take on things.
Oh, yeah. What does he say? He talked about the importance of the team staying level-headed.
Level-headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, not getting too caught up in the win streak.
Ah, I see.
He said they need to put those wins behind them.
And focus on the task at hand.
Exactly. One game at a time.
Makes sense.
No getting ahead of themselves.
Easy to say.
But it's a classic trap for a team on a hot streak.
I know it. They start believing the hype.
And then they lose sight of the fundamentals.
The things that got them there in the first place.
Exactly. And what's encouraging
Yeah,
is that the Jets seem to be very aware of this danger.
that's a good sign.
They're not letting it go to their heads.
Let's hope they can keep that mindset.
Yeah.
And they're not just saying it.
Yeah.
They're actually doing it.
They're walking the walk.
Exactly. Remember Coach Arniel's emphasis on playing the right way?
All about fundamentals.
Right. We're seeing it on the ice.
Mm.
They're sticking to the system, playing disciplined hockey,
Not letting the highs and lows get to them.
not letting those emotions affect their execution.
So important.
And, you know, it's not just about grit and defense.
Right.
Coach Arniel also talked about the defensemen's offensive contributions,
Yeah. It seems like they're spending less time in their own end.
and that creates more opportunities for the forwards.
Like having an extra attacker out there.
Exactly. It all comes down to their commitment to that fast puck possession style.
It's not just about preventing goals
They're actively involved in transitioning the puck up the ice.
and generating scoring chances.
Exactly.
You know what else has me excited?
What's that?
Those projected line combinations.
Oh, yeah.
They're mixing things up,
Interesting.
some established chemistry, and some intriguing new pairings.
Like,
Well, for starters, Connor and Scheifele back together.
classic duo.
That's a recipe for magic.
Could be explosive.
And then you've got Perfetti centering Ehlers.
Oh, wow.
That's a high-risk, high-reward situation.
Definitely a lot of potential there.
And get this. a potential fourth line of Baron Kupari and Iafallo.
Wow.
A ton of speed and skill, even on the so-called bottom line.
It's like they have 4 first lines.
I know.
Those lines are fascinating.
They really are.
It's a great blend of offensive firepower.
Defensive responsibility.
Yeah, and just raw potential.
For breakout performance.
I mean, putting Perfetti with Ehlers is a bold move.
Risky.
If Perfetti can get him the puck in the right spot, though,
Watch out.
they could be unstoppable.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the offense.
Right.
But let's not forget about the elephant in the room.
Goaltending.
Exactly. Comrie has been rock solid so far,
He has.
but Hellebuyck is still the backbone of this team.
Absolutely. He's a Vezina caliber goalie,
And he's going to be crucial
especially on this upcoming road trip.
against those tough opponents.
He can seal games for them.
Absolutely. When the team's not at their best.
If Hellebuyck can maintain his current level of play,
It's going to give the team a massive confidence boost.
for sure.
Okay, so let's recap for a second.
Right.
We've got an undefeated team, a strong sense of buy-in,
Check.
balanced scoring,
Yes.
a solid defensive system that also generates offense,
Uh-huh.
and world-class goaltending.
Check. Check, check. It's almost like a dream scenario.
It is.
Hmm.
But is there anything else we should be keeping an eye on?
As the season goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that could make or break their success.
Well, one thing I'm particularly interested in is the development of their young players.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
the future of the franchise.
Exactly. Guys like Perfetti, Sandberg, Barron. They've all shown flashes of brilliance.
They have
But can they keep growing their game?
become consistent contributors.
That's the question. If they can, it could be huge for the Jets' long-term success.
Imagine them playing alongside the veterans.
It's exciting to think about
They could be a force to be reckoned with.
for years to come.
I know. It's scary how good they could be.
It is still early in the season, though,
Of course.
and there will be bumps in the road.
That's part of the journey.
But if they can maintain that buy-in,
That commitment to disciplined, team-oriented hockey,
I think they can achieve great things.
I agree. They have the talent, the coaching, and the right mindset.
It's all there.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface here.
There's so much more to this team.
And I have a feeling this season is going to be a wild ride.
Buckle up.
It certainly will be.
That's what makes it so exciting, though, right?
Absolutely.
The unpredictability, the drama,
And there's moments of brilliance.
that leave you speechless.
So to recap, the Jets are off to a historic 5-0 start.
Couldn't ask for a better beginning.
They're playing with a level of buy-in and commitment we haven't seen in years.
It's a completely different team.
They're getting contributions from all 4 lines.
The depth is incredible.
The defense is contributing offensively.
They're a threat from everywhere.
And Hellebuyck is an absolute wall and net.
He's on fire.
Plus, those young players are showing serious potential.
The future is bright.
But now comes the real test.
The road trip.
3 games against some very formidable opponents.
And that kind of brings us back to that big question we had at the beginning.
Yeah. Can the Jets keep this up?
Can they turn this hot streak?
You know, into a deep playoff run?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The question on every Jets fan's mind right now.
It all comes down to this road trip.
It really does.
If they can go into St. Louis, Seattle, and Calgary,
And come out with at least
couple of wins,
a couple, yeah.
it would send a huge message to the rest of the league.
Like, hey,
We're here.
we're for real.
This is not a fluke.
This is not a fluke.
We're contenders.
We're a legitimate contender.
But here's the thing that's really got me thinking.
What's that?
It's not just about the wins and losses.
Right.
It's about how they play
Yeah.
the process.
Exactly.
If they can maintain that discipline,
That commitment to playing the right way.
that buy-in we were talking about.
That's what's going to make the difference.
So for you, what's the key factor here?
The thing that will determine their success,
Yeah,
I think it all comes down to leadership.
from the coaching staff and from the veteran players.
Yeah. Guys like Scheifele, Wheeler, Lowry.
They need to lead by example
Set the tone
and keep everyone focused on that bigger picture,
on the ultimate goal.
a deep playoff run.
And hey, maybe even
This may be.
a long road ahead.
It is.
But this Jets team,
They've got all the pieces.
the talent,
The system.
most importantly,
The belief.
yeah,
They believe they can achieve something special.
that's the key ingredient.
So there you have it, folks.
The Winnipeg Jets,
Off to a historic start.
with a bright future ahead of them.
But the real test is yet to come.
So buckle up, Jets fans.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Winnipeg Jets.
And until next time.
Keep diving deep.